So one of the major differences between classical conditioning and operant conditioning is involuntary behavior versus a voluntary behavior, right? Or something that you can actually decide to do or not to do. Skinner is a dude. You guys heard the name Skinner before? Okay, from The Simpsons, there you go. Did you talk about Skinner's box? I don't know if you need to know this for your class. With the cat, exactly. Can anybody summarize that for me real quick?
You would put the cat in the box and leave a bowl of food outside of it, and there was like a piece of string hanging from it.
Right.
And the cat would be put in the box and he would freak out until eventually, like, he would be moving around, he'd grab the string and open the door and see the food, and then gradually, like, it took the cat less time to grab the string for the door to open for the food.
Right, because the cat, that's great. Because the cat, or any one of us, if we are in a situation, we want to change the situation. In this case, it's changing a situation. Cat's in the box, the cat wants out of the box, basically. For the food or for the freedom, it doesn't matter. The cat wants out of the box. So the cat, eventually, in freaking out, does something, it doesn't know what, that leads it to the result of getting out of the box. So the next time the cat's put in the box, what does it do? It tries to remember, tries to figure out what it was that it did to allow it to get out of the box. And we do the same thing. And Skinner was researching that. Was Skinner at Harvard? I don't remember. One of those fancy schmancy places. So important words to associate with operant conditioning are reinforcement and punishment. And if you'll see, I put plus and minus in front of reinforcement. When you write in your notes, you need to put little notes like this. What those are cues. Can anyone tell me why? Well, it's also positive and negative, right? So we have positive and negative reinforcement, right? And then punishment, positive and negative. And there's this key term underneath, extinction. Did you guys cover extinction? I don't know if... Okay, I won't. You did? Can you summarize what was covered in your class? Just a little bit. Oh, you don't, this is not a test. It's not a test, don't worry. If it were, I'd be crashing and burning, right? Okay.
It's something that you have to constantly do to keep on enforcing the condition, because if you don't, then it just kind of extinguishes that.
If you don't continue the repetition, then a behavior will decrease.
Right.
If you do continue the repetition, then a behavior, not extinction, but then a behavior will be they say a lot more likely, or the probability will rise, probability being the type of math that I failed, just so you know. So basically, repetition goes up, the likelihood of the behavior repeating goes up. If the repetition goes down, then the likelihood of the behavior repeating goes down. Okay, does that make sense? There's a little bit more to it, but I don't want to confuse, and I don't want to do anything that he hasn't, since I didn't see his lecture. But this is a really good way, and actually, Michelle Llewellyn is the one who drew this out for me. When I learned this stuff, I didn't have the benefit of the little 4-box chart. So you see the positives and negatives again? If you draw this chart and you memorize this chart, and you really think about and say it out loud when you do it, say positive and negative, don't just say plus and minus, then you'll be able to answer just about any question that's posed to you if you think about it. And that's why when you memorize, you don't want to just put the words in and not have the meaning. And that's one reason why you want to be able to actually say it, unlike that scary equation that was up there before. You guys have this? Or were you given it before? Okay. So with positive reinforcement, I'll just go over it really quickly. With positive reinforcement, if you want to increase a behavior, you add a positive. I'm going to give you some examples in just a moment, so it won't just be this jumble of information. But notice you've got the positive and the positive. So positive reinforcement adds something to increase a behavior. So everything's plus, plus, plus. For negative reinforcement, which is actually diagonal across, you see right here? Oops, now it's backwards. You subtract a negative, so it's negative, negative. It's like a double negative. You're not allowed to do it in English, but apparently we can do it here. What's that? I can do the math. Yeah, I'll try. Presentation punishment. If you want to decrease a behavior, you add something negative. So that's like a spanking. That's sort of the classic example. And if you want to decrease a behavior, then you'll remove a punishment, but you're subtracting a positive. So you've got 2 ways to increase behavior and 2 ways to decrease behavior. And we've found that if you do the positive reinforcement, it tends to be the strongest. It's also the happiest. And I just want to clarify, when you're doing removal punishment, when you're removing something positive, and I have an example of it for you. It's like you're taking away soccer practice, or it's like grounding somebody. You don't get to go to the movies this weekend because you were BAD, because you were bad. So you're removing something fun in order to try to change a behavior. Problem with it is you generally get resentment. There we go.
Lewis! 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 Mom! 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 Mommy! 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 Mama! 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 Ma! 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 Mom! 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 Mommy! Mommy! Mama! Mama! Mama!
What?
Hi.
So can anybody actually tell me what was going on there? Is there a whole lot positive? Let's get rid of that. No? What was going on that was negative? No response from the mom, right? Okay, so who was conditioning who? How so? Okay. Who wanted to change whose behavior? The kid wanted to change mom's behavior, right? And actually, you can look at most of these. You can flip a lot of them around, and a lot of them are actually intertwined as well. So, okay, so Stu wanted to change mom's behavior. So what did he do? He repeated over and over again something really annoying until he got a response. Was it the response that he wanted? No. Are we sure? Do we know? We can't really tell. But he got a response. He was happy. Do you think he'll do it again? What do you think the likelihood is? Does it go up or down that mom's going to respond next time in a similar way? Going to go down, you think? How so? Which is, let's say, just for the sake of argument, that all he wants is attention. So he'll probably get attention, right? Yeah. He'll probably get it faster next time. So is it a successful conditioning process? Okay. So there's an operation involved in operant conditioning, right? Let's try this one.
There is no discipline that is effective in this house, and so I'm introducing the privilege removal board so that mum can get control back in this house. Kobe, I saw behaviour from you yesterday that was very upsetting. Behaviour like aggression, which is punching and kicking and any kind of behaviour that hurts somebody else, is wrong. You're going to learn that if you don't start behaving yourselves, that you're going to pay a price for it. Basketball. If you start to fight, no more basketball.
I was a privilege. when I hit and cuss and swear and all the things that I'm not supposed to do.
He didn't seem too happy about that. What do you think? Okay, so what was going on there? Operant conditioning, how?
She was teaching the little boy that if he keeps acting the way he acts, that he's not going to get to do the fun things that he wants to do.
Exactly, which is looking at the... Right, negative, negative. I'm paying attention, I have to think of that, yeah. Removal of behavior, removal of punishment, subtract a positive. There'll be removal, punishment to decrease a behavior. So it's actually a positive, negative. Right, subtract a positive. Right, or a negative, positive, said it backwards. That's not helping. All right. Okay, so you guys are about out of here. Are you running out of time? Because I could show you some more examples. They're a little bit of fun. Or we could do an experiment. It depends on how much time. You guys have a class?